Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Buster because he did receive an emergency nerf about 30 minutes ago or so with a maintenance as well. So if you guys were unaware, Buster absolutely broken, and you can see in release notes on the news tab we've got 4 changes to him, so we'll be diving into it. Of course, for health and damage nerf, those are actually at level 1. I don't know why they still do that. I'll be showing you guys the level 11 interaction changes just so you guys know whether to pick up the Brawl Pass still, whether it's still worthwhile to really grind out Buster. So before we jump into the video, then make sure you're using the creator code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, jumping into the first game then. So I'm going to be testing it out with randoms to try and see the true carrying power with Buster now then. So the big one, which you'll probably notice straight away with Buster, the change, is his HP. His HP's gone from 8,400 to 7,500. That is a massive change. It's a 900 HP difference. Before, he was one of the tankiest brawlers in the game, and they're just wiping 9k HP off him, which is definitely understandable. Like, I felt like he had way too much HP for the range he has as a tank, and then the survivability with the shield. So yeah, but definitely taking a lot of survivability out of him. So that is definitely a really nice nerf. So unfortunately, we've got a Frank who's just going to feed the enemy team 24/7. So we're going to use our shield right here. One good recommendation with his kit, by the way, still is I actually run the health gear a lot, except for on the grassy maps. Health gear is actually so good on Buster because when you pop your shield, you can actually just heal up whilst of course pushing up, and you can just heal up so incredibly fast. So that's just a quick tip anyways. But going into the next nerf then, so the next nerf is with his gadget. His gadget was insane. You can just basically think of it of a better Pam gadget, you know, the one that I think it's called Pulse Emulator or something like that, where of course you'd have to go to the super and then gadget to get that healing. But with this one, it was literally upon like a click of a button, you can heal up 1,000, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it can definitely help in some interactions. When you think about it, like, you can basically have 9,400 HP in a gunfight, which is insane. But then when you pair that with a couple of teammates, with 2 teammates it was 2,000, with 3 teammates 3,000. That's for you and your teammates as well. So definitely was an incredibly strong gadget. So that got nerfed to half. So now you can see with 2 teammates it's now 1,000, on your own it's now 500, and with 3, 1,500. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the best of gadgets now, but it did deserve a nerf. It was just too easy for survivability. You pair, you know, Buster with a Poco, for example, and it was just so insanely broken. You've seen time and time again on Twitter, literally everyone pushing rank 35 Buster because of how easy it was to push with a Poco. So should be able to collapse onto the stew here. Unfortunately, just dash out. I'm going to use the gadget to help me and get out a little bit. Looks like I was going to call it Valkyrie then. It's not Valkyrie, it's Janet, Valkyrie Janet. But yeah, we've not really been doing too much. But one good thing as well that they did change is his Supercharge. It now takes 20% more time to charge up your super, but unfortunately we couldn't save that one. So that's going to be the first game. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, moving on to the next game. And so I felt like we played pretty decent overall there. Buster's still feeling pretty strong, but as I was mentioning before the end of the last game, the next nerf, of the third of his 4th nerfs, is to do with his Supercharge. So now it's a little bit complicated because with Buster, of course, he charges his super more when you're actually close to an opponent. So they basically put with the numbers, it was like 100 and now it's gone down to 80. So basically I think that's like a 20% nerf, right, to his Supercharge, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's definitely gonna allow him to get taken down a little bit easier. Specifically, like, if it was too cheesy again, that he can have his range as a tank and still build up his super so quickly. Like, that was pretty insane for me. And then a final nerf, and so at max level, he used to deal 2,550 up close. This is literally point blank, right? And now he deals 2,370, so around 200 damage less. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a decent nerf considering, like, he's got other nerfs as well. So we should be able to take the Poker down here. You pair that with the damage gear, still 2.7k damage up close. It's still pretty insane overall. So again, we're just going to use our shield to push up. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to end up dying here. Griff's going to cycle super onto both of us. Okay, we could have actually got a ball and scored there, but let me know what you think of the balance changes to Buster then. So the main reason why he's been emergency nerfed, if you guys were wondering, a lot of you guys are probably like 4 or 5 levels away from getting the Brawl Pass, I imagine, because that's about what I'm at on my second account. But yeah, as I mentioned, like, the reason why he was nerfed is just because he was so strong against everything. I still feel like he probably is due a few more nerfs. He probably isn't like crazy OP anymore, but he still is a really strong brawler. I'd definitely recommend still getting the Brawl Pass overall, because I can just feel instantly like Surge is a really bad matchup for me. Like Griff as well isn't really the best, but I can still feel he's having like the same impact, specifically with his shield. I think his shield is really good, so I'm gonna pop this ball into the corner. I'm going to use shield here to block against the Poco. Poco's trying to get around my shield right here, but I'm going to be able to stay alive for now. So I've realized I'm not even popping my gadget like at all right now, which definitely could have helped me out a little bit. But if I had any semi-decent teammates, like with an okay brawler, you know, Dynamite and Frank, some of the worst brawlers in the game, I feel like we could be showing off Buster a lot better. So we're going to pop our super right here. Griff's just going to use his super against it. I'm going to use my gadget for me and the Frank right here, and I should be able to... Okay, no, that Poco is just going to deal a lot of damage, but luckily enough, I've got my shield right here. Again, with the health gear, I probably would have been nearly max HP already. I'm going to pop my gadget because I've still got one more left, and again, I just haven't got a good matchup right here. Griff, Surge, Poco, I'm going to be feeding all of them, so not really that favorable right now. Frank might be able to score here with his super, and he actually is going to, so forget about the dumb teammates, they're just carrying me right there. So that's going to be the next game. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the next game, and so hopefully we get some better randoms this time around. I've tried a few times, but sometimes dying pretty quickly and losing. So against Ash, let's see if we have the favorable matchup right here. His rats are going to really help him out in a 1v1. So if you guys are wondering as well, the biggest counters to this brawler are definitely fellow tanks. Like fellow tanks have a decent matchup against him overall, so should be able to get the ball out in time. Fortunately, Surge just destroys us a lot of the time because, of course, he can use his super to jump over my shield. And yeah, we just don't have like the burst to really get him down that quickly. So, especially when he's using the shield star power. So, again, Ash just going to run up against us. Pretty hard to take him down when he's got the healing gadget as well. Should be able to get him down eventually. That's going to be a double kill. Like, I feel, again, Buster's still going to be really strong because he has his Pierce mechanic as a tank and has this range. And then, if you guys watched the competitive, I think we played in 1+ tournament the other day. If you watched my games, like, I was playing on Heist with his brawler, and he's actually insane. Like, you can just use, like, a max speed, and then use the shield, and then you can just basically just hide behind Buster, use his shield as... well, obviously your teammates use a shield, and then you can just get so much damage on the safe. It's like nothing these guys can really do. So again, just going to use my gadgets to try and get into the fight a little bit quicker, but it's just so crazy OP when combined with a max, with a Poco. You know, I was seeing like the quickest rank 35 pushes I think I've ever seen, just to go to show like how good mechanically this brawler is. So Tara super onto a Surge, but don't think we're going to be able to stop this. Should be able to get the max down, and that's going to be the Ash. Okay, no, I mean, we've literally been on the back foot for the entirety of every single game so far, but still, like, defensively, this brawler is just so incredibly strong. So I'm probably going to get Ash down here. Open. Okay, no, those rats are just going to go through my shield. There's just so many broken interactions as well with the shield. I think, for example, like Jean can't actually pull, even though I feel like it cancels like every single mechanic out. That Jean pull, wow, that Tara super was wild. I don't know where that was going. Another one like Frank's super, I feel like that should probably change. Like, I don't get how a Frank can't stun for the shield. That's pretty cheesy to me. Again, there's like a lot of other interactions that I'd like to change, but maybe as time goes on, they probably will realize which interactions are a little bit broken. So I need to try and push forward here to stop these guys from scoring. That's gonna be Ash down, and unfortunately we can't stop that Surge from closing the gap. That's another big thing as well, is that of course my movement speed decreases, so it just allows opponents an easier time to get up close and bypass that shield. So a little bit unfortunate, but it's looking like as overtime pops, we're probably going to concede here. There's surely no way as a tank we can stop that one. So that's going to be another game. Let's hop into the last one. Alright guys, moving on to the final game. And so one thing I completely forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is that you've still got to be aware of Buster's second gadget and second star power still come into the game. It's going to improve his build a lot. It's going to be the better star power and the better gadget now, considering this gadget got a heavy nerf. So with the gadget then, so for gadget, the next gadget for Buster probably will come out pretty soon, right? Probably, I imagine, within the next, I don't know, week or so. Is that with this gadget, your next attack actually pulls enemies in and slows them for 2 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but of course Buster deals more damage when opponents are closer to him. So you can easily just pick on a target, get them, pull them close, and you know, you should be able to get a takedown quite quickly. So that is going to be a pretty broken mechanic overall for Buster, surely. And then for the star power then, so I feel like the star power right now isn't really that good, except for on games like game modes like Knockout, where it might group a lot. But for the new star power, basically with his super, you're immune to all knockbacks, stuns, I think there's another one as well, slows, and you take 20% less damage. So for example, if a surge jumps on top of you, your super normally would just completely cancel out, but now it stays active, which I feel like is pretty good and bad at the same time in some circumstances. But I think overall that star power should be completely busted, right? Like a Tara super can't stop you, just nothing can really stop you when you're in your super. 20% less damage as well, you're getting 20% HP buff essentially whilst that shield is active. It is pretty insane. So let's see if we can stop this one. I'm going to use Brock as a little bit of extra HP. Going to use super right here, but Tara super, that's going to cancel me out. So with the new star power, that one cancelled me out, so got to be careful right here. Going to try and heal up with the health gear right here, which is definitely going to be helping me out a little bit. But of course with randoms, it's pretty hard to showcase how strong Buster probably still is. I don't know, I'm not feeling as confident with him. Before I could just run all over everyone 1v3 style, but now it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. So that's going to be Tara down. Maybe we can make a goal happen here with 15 seconds left. We've got to definitely pass it away from the Gale. He does waste his gadget though, but unfortunately I don't think there's enough time to score here unless Mortis can get his super in time. Maybe we can, nah, there's no chance. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think of the changes to Buster. Of course, with randoms at rank 30, it's so hard to get a win. I'm of course going to tilt no matter what brawler I play, but I still feel like he's a pretty strong brawler. So again, watch out for the second star power and gadget. These are going to be like insane. I still feel like it's going to be a top tier brawler. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.